Chapter 5, Into the Woods. You finally bedded down again after reuniting with Imtura and fighting off Valix when your dreams are interrupted by a familiar voice.
Rain, we have much to discuss.
You're back.
And you've made progress. I see you've reassembled your party. Do you think they're ready for the challenges ahead?
We saved the world once already, didn't we?
You postponed its downfall, at the very least, and you did surprisingly well against Valix this evening. However, I'm afraid that was just the beginning of your challenges. There are still many dangers ahead.
Many dangers, huh? More than sailing rifts and fighting Valix?
Those will be your primary obstacles, yes. They will not be the only ones. You are sure to encounter hostile people, beasts, as you travel. Some may even prove more troublesome than the Ash Empire.
You'd think everyone would be more on board with saving the realm.
There are those who forget the importance of the greater good, but we cannot let that stop us from achieving our goal. The first rift you must seal is in the Deadwood. It has been leaking light into the Shadow Realm ever since the Shadow Court first tore the barrier open. The elves did their best, but they failed to completely close the barrier when they banished the Dreadlord and his forces.
Okay, do you know the exact location of the rift within the Deadwood?
You can find it near a very deep, very clear lake that glows with concentrated magic.
A glowing lake. You remember the moonlight walk you took along its shores with Aaron before he betrayed you. I have some complicated memories of the place, but I can find it easily, though. So, once we get there, we just have to find the rift by the lake, and then you and I can seal it?
The rift is in the lake, beneath it, actually.
At the bottom of the lake. It's a good thing I like swimming. Though I'd rather be under less life-threatening circumstances.
Yes, well, take your pleasures where you can.
That sounds ominous.
Once you're at the bottom of the lake, you must open a portal and pass through the barrier.
To the Shadow Realm? We're going back?
Sealing a rift between worlds is no simple task, Rain. It requires 2 realm walkers, one on each side of the rift. And it takes time.
But if you're stuck here in the barrier, could you reach both sides? Why don't I just stay on the light realm?
As I said, the process is difficult. It takes time. More time than you could possibly hold your breath for. Some of the first children of the light dwell on the other side. They may be able to help you overcome the water. Perhaps they could use your assistance as well.
Okay, but the last time I made a portal by myself, I nearly cut my own foot off.
That can be remedied. Close your eyes.
You obey, and the Watcher's deep, measured voice fills your ears.
The power to open portals and seal rifts lies within you. In moments of fear and desperation, it is about want and need. But in time, with practice, you will make it about will. Your will. Practice building pictures of where you want to go in your mind. See every detail. Believe in that image. Then make that image real.
Then how does sealing a rift work?
It is the opposite. You must imagine the place you are. Imagine it as it should be. Imagine the rift closed. See it in your mind and then make it real.
You open your eyes, staring at the Watcher skeptically. Just make it real, huh?
It will become easier in time. Someday you will be able to travel the realms with barely a thought.
It sounds somehow both easy and impossible at the same time, but his advice hasn't been wrong so far. Alright, so I swim to the bottom of the lake, cross over to the Shadow Realm, make new friends, and imagine the tear between the realm is sealed. Nothing to it.
You must also stay on your guard. The longer you stay in one place, the more likely Valix and the Ash Empire will be able to find you.
Is that because she has my blood?
You're quite perceptive.
So, it is my blood. So, that's creepy. Not that I should have expected anything else from Valix.
As long as she has access to your blood, she can find you. And presumably in the year they had you, she collected a good deal.
Oh, so all I've got to do is close all the rifts before Murder Princess finds me.
And with that goal in mind, you should return to your rest. I will reach out to you again when you are ready to seal the rift.
You open your mouth to reply, but the darkness sweeps over you, pulling you back into sleep. The following day, you set out for the Deadwood, catching up with everyone and with what the Watcher told you. Valix and the Ash Empress aren't going to stop, but if we close the rifts, then we can stop them. And this is why you had me dragged from my comfortably appointed prison cell. The rest of your party glances back to where Aaron stands on the side of the road, his hands bound in front of him. You'd sent for him first thing this morning, as soon as you learned where you were going.
I still don't think this is a good idea.
Neither do I. Aaron knows more about the Shadow Realm than anyone else on the side of the barrier, since we're going back there. His knowledge may prove invaluable. And you're sure you're okay with this, Nia? After everything he did to you? I am. I have to believe anyone influenced by the Shadow can recover and become a better person.
Well, I don't buy it.
I understand your sympathy, Nia, but some people are too far gone. Nia frowns, looking troubled. Aaron's coming with us. The sooner we all get used to that, the better.
Fine, but if you even think about betraying us again, you will regret it.
Aaron holds up both hands in a placating gesture. I'm not a fool. You five managed to defeat the Dreadlord in the Shadow Court. I know when I'm outmatched. Just remember, we're your only chance of redemption.
A redemption, are you serious?
I am. This is your chance to prove yourself, Aaron.
You really think that this traitor is capable of...
No one is beyond redemption. Every day we choose who to be. Today, you can decide to be a person who wants to help us save the world.
That is, something to think about, I suppose.
Help us out, and when this is over, well, maybe you'll be part of the legendary team who saved the Light Realm from the Ash Empire. We're giving you a chance to do some good, so don't blow it. Thoughtful. What am I missing here? Oh, look at that. Aaron has joined the party. So happy. Not really. You weave your way deeper into the woods, Aaron following someone sullenly at your heels. I know this will be dangerous, so I want to check one more time. You're all on board? Any threat to the light is a threat to existence itself, and as one made of the light, it is my duty to defend it. I agree. The people they could hurt, we can't let them.
You know how much I hate to agree with Tyrell.
And yet you do, more often than not these days.
Oh, don't let it go to your head, elf boy. But you're right, the mission isn't optional.
Hard to believe you're the same man who wanted to save his own skin the moment he stumbled upon the court's plot. Mal meets your gaze, and for a moment everything else fades away.
You changed me. You showed me it was worth fighting to help people.
Mal, so you're saying I made you a better man?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Nope, you said it. You can't take it back. You lean in close, grinning in his face. Don't worry. It'll be our little secret. Mal leans closer too, and you can feel the soft touch of his breath on your cheek as he whispers,
Don't forget it, kid. I still have plenty to teach you.
He looks so intense, but you can't help but see the shadows under his eyes. He's exhausted. Mal, I'm glad you want to help, but promise me you won't forget about yourself in the process. Are you getting any sleep?
I'm fine, Rain. I'm no soft city prince or fancy elf. I can take a little rough living.
I take offense at that.
As do I.
You can't expect to save the world if you're not rested. Rain is right. I've told you that you're working too hard.
You're one to talk, priestess. You spend all time giving sermons, saving people with magic, and helping me run an orphanage. And rather than ask anyone for help when it's too stressful, you run off and hide.
It's just... Uh-huh. She trails off as you look over at her. And though she lacks the shadows under under Mal's eyes, her forehead seems permanently creased with concern. Nia, you know you can always talk to us if something is bothering you. You don't have to deal with it alone. I'm fine, Rain, really. She smiles gently, though the worry lingers between her brows. It's just the importance of the mission. We're talking about protecting the light. We cannot fail. It's only then when you realize Tora hasn't said a word through this entire discussion. Not to poke fun at Tyrell, not to joke with Mal, not even to comfort Nia. Hey, are you with us, Tora?
I'm fine.
No, the whole party's not. They all need to be mended in their own ways. But she doesn't seem fine. None of them do. He spin around to face the group. Guys, we can do this. I know we can. I know it's hard year for everyone. We've been apart, we've changed, but I still know you. And there's no one else I'd rather have at my side. You meet their gazes one by one. Tyrell, you've seen the horrors of shadow can inflict on our world, and I know you won't let that happen again. Nia, Mal, you've always looked out for people others forget. You'll do anything to protect them. And Tora... She looks away from you, but you reach out and grip her arm. Tora, I know you care. You bluster, you joke, but you do care. And no one will fight harder to protect this team than you will. The Ash Empire doesn't have a chance. We can accomplish this. It's just a matter of finding our balance again. And this has been fascinating. Heroes, they're just like the rest of us.
Rain, Nia, close your eyes. I'm gonna punch him.
Aaron holds his bound hands up in front of him in a gesture of submission. I shall be as silent as the grave. Or I shall put you in one. How poetic. Aaron. He does his best to attempt to mime turning a key in front of his mouth. You saw him roll your eyes before continuing on, scanning the woods for signs of trouble.
Hold up a sec.
He lets back to find Mal standing by a plant, brow furrowed as he studies the leaves. When you draw closer, you see a crystalline sheen along the surface. Is that ice? I know fall is setting in, but it's way too hot for anything to be freezing. Let me take a look. Watches Tyrell crouches down and runs a delicate finger along the leaf, tracing close to the frost. It must have been caused by a magical disturbance nearby. We should seek it out and do our best to restore balance.
Do we really have time for that right now?
A disturbance like this can grow. It could extend all the way to Deadwood.
Frozen and dead is a little much even for me. What do you say, kid? Want to do a quick adventure? Save the neck of the woods before we save the world?
Whatever is causing it is clearly quite the magical affinity. We may even be able to harness it for our own uses. Basically a side mission. Let's check it out. After telling the others to wait, you pick up the trail of the frozen dew and follow it deeper into the woods.
Just out of curiosity, is anyone else worried about what potential magic or dangerous magic we'll find at the end of this?
Of course, but that only makes it imperative that we investigate. Better for us to discover it than some hapless travelers.
I don't know. If I had to pick between me or a stranger getting turned into an ice sculpture, pretty sure I'd pick the stranger.
I think you'd make a handsome sculpture.
Flattery might usually work on me, but I'd rather keep my limbs unfrozen, thank you.
Tyrrell squints ahead in the distance where there's a break in the trees. We're getting close to the source. Emerge from the woods into a snowy glen. Sunlight reflects off the drifted snow and ice glitters in the trees. Wow, this is beautiful. Beautiful, yes, out of place. There must be some evidence that would point us to what's causing us. All we have to do is find it. Hard to do that when almost everything is buried under snow.
Maybe if we can find a high enough vantage point, we'll spot something.
Or we could just examine the snow itself. I've always been a person who loves to get a vantage point. You look around and spot a tree with plenty of sturdy branches for climbing. Mal, give me a boost.
As you wish.
With a wink and a dramatic bow, he links his fingers together so you can step onto them, helping lift you to the lowest of branches. You scale the tree to look out over the snow-covered landscape, but there, in the middle of the clearing, is a strange, almost crystalline rose bush. I think I found the source. Coming back out of the tree, you trapeze through the snow until you come upon the odd plant. Where did this come from, and what is it? You study the bush. It is full of bloom, the flowers lush, vibrant, despite the thick coating of ice. It's a frigid rose bush. They are native to Frost Whisper Mountains. They can't survive outside of cold climates.
Seems more like it's causing the freeze here.
Yes, they're known to contribute to the cold by lowering the surrounding temperatures. But how did it get here? A seed must have been dropped by a passing caravan, or even a bird overhead.
I'll have to burn it out.
Why?
Because it doesn't belong. It's not like it's hurting anything. It's a small, well-contained area. I say we leave it.
What happened to saving this neck of the woods?
I was expecting something that would prowl the forest, a beast wizard or beast-sleep wizard. It's just a plant. Delicate, wooden, boring. Surely you can relate, elf boy.
You are not amusing. Nobody's right. Rain, please, surely you can understand the danger. It might cause problems later. There could be some unforeseen consequences to leaving the bush here. And we don't know the damage it's already caused. Precisely.
Just because it didn't belong originally doesn't mean we should just destroy it. The world's meant to change. Maybe this is the start of a new frosty forest. Who are we to get in the way of that?
I'm afraid I must insist. Joe stretches out his hand as a ball of fire begins to materialize in his palm. You hear growling from a nearby strand of trees. What's that? Before you can finish your sentence, a pack of ice-covered wolves emerge from the trees, teeth bared and misty hackles raised. Okay. They don't really look like wolves, but, you know. Animals have icy horns, a row of frozen spines lining their backs.
Crystal wolves. But that doesn't make sense. They're native to the far north.
How do you know about them, then?
Their pelts are pretty valuable in less reputable markets.
Maybe don't say that so loud?
These wolves must have escaped from the poacher's caravan. Found this place. Good thing, too, since they can't survive in warm weather.
Ah. The largest wolf bends low to the ground, eyes trained on Tyrrell. Tyrrell, fire isn't helping. Fire is the opposite of helping. What do you propose we do? We're gonna have to leave the bush alone. I don't know, but I think not being eaten by crystal wolves would be a good start. That's truly a valid point. He snuffs out the magical fire, then holds both hands up, palms out. To show the lack of threat, the wolves eye him warily, but growling fades. There, much better. You watch as the wolves begin to calm down. Some sniff the air, while others watch you as they mill about, keeping their distance. Can we bring them home?
They wouldn't survive the journey. Not being under the constant influence of ice magic. Whether we like it or not, they seem to have settled here. They're relying on the frigid rosebush to survive.
It wouldn't be right to take their new home from them when the effects are so limited. You're right, the harm would far outweigh the good.
See, kid, he can be reasoned with.
I am very reasonable. I only wish to take the whole environment into account. But since these creatures have found a means of coexisting, it is not my place to interfere in the order of the light. You kneel and address the wolves. Does that sound alright to you? The wolves huff and snort as though in agreement, before lopping a bit further away from you to lie down in the snow. One of the younger pups edges closer, studying you with overt curiosity. Hey, little one. You hold out a hand and it stretches out its neck to sniff you. I'll approach the wolf with, well, since he was curious about keeping everything alive. Hey, Mel. You wave him over as you sidle up to the wolf.
Be careful, Kit.
When am I not?
Well, there was that one time.
Hush. Slowly you approach the wolf. It's okay. We mean you no harm. You reach out slowly to touch the fur of the back of his wolf's neck. It swirls around your fingertips and you gasp. It doesn't just look like mist. It feels like it too. Amazing. He follows suit, smiling softly as he strokes the wolf's fur.
He really is a cute little fella, isn't he?
He's not as cute as you.
You're gonna make me blush.
Oh, you love it.
I really do.
You lay your hand over his. The two of you stand there for a moment, smiling at one another. The largest wolf barks as it gets to his feet, followed by the few of the others. The young wolf bounds back over to them, kicking up snow. Bye, little one. The wolves stop at the edge of the thicket and turn, staring at you with something like almost like feels like approval, and then they disappear into the forest.
Now that we've solved the mystery of the forest, we should get back to the others.
Just a moment. Jiro plucks one of the frozen roses from the bush and holds it out to you. If you eat the petals from the rose bush, your breath will freeze whenever it comes into contact with. That's a handy trick. I wouldn't recommend it as a snack, but it could prove useful in a fight. You pocket the rose and the three of you make your way back towards the trail and the rest of the party. You finally reach the deadwood itself just as the sun sets, making the trees cast eerie shadows as you press on.
I'm having second thoughts about all this. We could dump you in a ditch somewhere.
Mal.
Sorry.
Nah, don't be sorry. Everyone keep your guard up. I do not want to run into any Drachna this time. I don't know. Maybe a good old-fashioned monster fight is just what we need to get back into the groove.
Oh, thanks. Now you've cursed us.
Cursed to what a good time.
To monsters.
That's what I said. Ugh. You keep your eyes peeled, but nothing leaps out of the shadows to attack. The woods lay still, ominous all around you. Maybe we won't get attacked this time? Yep. You're about to jinx us. The trees all around you shift and creak. Even though there's no wind, you cast a wary glance around. I always hope to support your optimism, Nia, but... Peer into the darkness. You peer into the darkness, and the sifting shadows slowly resolve into winged figures diving through the trees. The largest wheels around and barrels towards you. Oh, you're cute. What are those? Those are giant man bats. Flesh drinkers! Massive monster swoops down, its feet outstretched. Tora leaps directly into the path of the eyeless attacker. Her axe makes contact, slicing easily through its body, sending it flying into the trees in 2 parts. Thanks.
What did I just say? You cursed us.
And I said it would be a good time. Focus! A screeching cloud of flesh drinkers descends out of the trees, and everyone leaps into action.
Rain, look out!
You spin in time to see a pair of flesh drinkers narrowly escape Mal's daggers and dive at your face. Fight them hand to hand. Let's dance. Remembering the lessons Imtora taught you, you draw your body into Zephyr form and easily dodge a flesh drinker's attack. It hurtles past you, slamming into a tree and crashing to the ground with a sharp cry. As the other comes at you, you shift into a boulder stance and slam your fist right into its abdomen. Something cracks and it jerks back with a yelp. Nice form, Rain. Dodging another flesh stringer, you spin around only to find Aaron standing directly behind you, holding up his bound hands. If you don't mind. You want me to cut you free? I'd rather not find out why they're called flesh drinkers while I'm bound like a prisoner. Fine. I trust you. You do? Against my better judgment, yes. Rain. We can have this conversation after we kill the things that want to drink our flesh. I've always admired your priorities. You pull out your knife and slice through the ropes binding him. Then you press the blade into his hands. Get to it. As you command. Without another word, he runs off. You move to go after him, but a wall of flapping, shrieking flesh drinkers blocks the way. I'm a little busy here, guys. You do your best to track the motion of the winged creatures, but there's too many of them. You take a step backwards and find yourself back to back with Tyrrell. There must be some way to stop these guys that doesn't involve fighting them all one by one. What do they do, Tyrrell? Fly and kill. Yeah, I got that already. What else? I'm not an expert. They must use echolocation. You mean a close eye on one of the creatures. You note how it lets out a screech each time it pivots in the air. That's what bats do, right? I'm not an expert on bats either. You're not an expert on much. Trust me, this'll work. What will work? Make enough noise to confuse them. I should sing a song, scream in their faces, make a rattle. Sing it, drinking, scream. I'm not doing it, I'm sorry, not really. Open your mouth and shriek as loudly as you can, just as you dive away from an attacking flesh drinker. The creature spirals before crashing into a tree. If it works, it works. Everyone's just screaming. We'll just go with that. Put some feeling into it, Nia. Let's try this. Tyrrell claps his hands together and the very air seems to shake, amplifying the sound with magic as it echoes through the woods. 2 flesh drinkers crash in midair and fall to the ground, where Nia blasts them with light. Keep it up.
Wait, I've got even something better.
Statue of many faces. That's perfect. He pulls the statue from his pocket and smashes it on the ground. What is that?
A distraction.
Sure enough, the flesh drinkers wheel frantically in the sky, clearly disoriented by the terrible shrieking. Let's finish this. As horrifying as the flesh drinkers are, for a moment you feel like everything is right with the world. Everyone falls into place, fighting as if the past year never happened. Tyrrell weaves a path of elegant destruction around you, his sword alight with magic. Mal takes out the stragglers he leaves behind.
On your right, Tyrrell.
I see it. By the light. He summons blasts of magic that stun the beasts, making them easy prey for Imtora's axes.
Why won't you die already?
Even Aaron is making a good show of it. Though the knife isn't his usual weapon, he wastes no time slashing into any flesh drinker that comes near him. Disgusting creatures. He lands a particularly effective blow and lets out a not at all refined grunt of victory. Yeah. Only to turn it into a cough. Imtora lets out one of more ear-shacking roar, and the flesh drinker crashes to the earth. You all stand for a moment, dragging deep breaths. Suddenly Imtora laughs.
Damn, that felt good.
Honestly, it was pretty good time. I believe we are beginning to find our balance again after all. Well, it just took a couple of tries. I knew we could do it. I hope every fight goes like this. When we're together, nothing can stop us. Bring on the Drachna. Please, no. Aaron strolls back up, your knife still in his hand. Immediately, Mal, Imtora, and Tyrell point their weapons at him.
Drop it.
You are all so dramatic. We will not ask twice. With a sigh, he flips the knife around in his hand, offering you the handle. Once you take it, he holds up his hand in a gesture of innocence. See, I mean no harm. I haven't even escaped or stabbed anyone in the back. Yet. Ah, that is how linear time works, yes. Let's find the lake and get this over with before we run into any more monsters, or they start, literally killing Aaron. Soon you arrive at the tranquil clearing with willowy trees framing the familiar sparkling lake. Ah, just how I remember it. We did have some good times, didn't we, Rain? I try not to think about them. You were lying the whole time. Not the whole time. Look, you're here because you can help us, but I don't trust you. I literally just a few minutes ago said I trust him. I'm sending out mixed signals. I suppose I wouldn't trust me either. Is that supposed to make me feel better? You're the one who wanted the truth. You shake your head and start around the lake. It's still so beautiful. If you can forget about the dangerous rift at the bottom of it, yeah. Rift or no rift, I'm just happy we're not spending the night here again.
What? You didn't like waking up wrapped in a cocoon, strung up for dinner?
I don't remember you liking it very much either. I can't believe we're bringing the same snotty little prince with us again. At least this time we know he'll stab us in the back at the first chance. Mal, he helped us with the flesh drinkers. I think you're being too harsh. We've been over this. You don't have to trust him. He's in this to save his own skin. Because that's so reassuring, says the thief, who was only looking out for himself before Rain came along. Is it hard to believe I've had second thoughts as well? He glanced at Aaron, expecting his usual slightly wry smile, but for once he looked serious.
And we're supposed to believe you?
Each of you have done a bad. Seriously, each one of you has done a bad thing. We weren't even corrupted by Shadow. Everything you did for yourself. And everything all of you did in Book 1 was for yourselves. Shadow corruption is more complicated than you realize, and more reversible. I severely doubt that. Tyrell looks ready to kill, but Aaron keeps his gaze on you like you're the only person in the world. Do you mean that? About having second thoughts? Does it matter now? Perhaps if I've met you sooner. Well, that is neither here nor there. I made the choice I did, and I cannot change it now. I tried to understand why you joined the Shadow Court. Was it because of your family? We all saw how your brother treated you. Halsey was willing to leave you with the Drachna and let you die. I can't imagine it was any better than when you were at home. His hands ball in a fist set aside, his voice stays light. That is an understatement, yes. That paired with how your father reacted to your killing him, it paints a pretty clear picture. Aaron lets out a heavy sigh and runs a hand through his hair.
If you must know, I wanted power. You were a prince. Doesn't get much more powerful than that.
I'm sure from the outside it seems like that I had everything.
But by the time I met you, I had grown used to being ignored, belittled. My brother, well, you met my brother.
Balda certainly was unpleasant.
You were the first people I met who agreed with me on that. The court adored him. He was favored, popular, destined for the crown. He would have been a terrible king, I thought.
He trails off and shrugs.
It doesn't matter what I thought. By the time I met you, my plan was already in motion. There was no changing it.
Let Nia comfort him. Nia reaches out to lay a gentle hand on his arm. There is a chance to change your path now, and you're walking on it.
Being dragged along it is against my will, more like. But no longer bound, so my evening is looking up.
So keep acting right, and don't give us a reason to change that. You can tell Tyrrell and Mal are still sulking, but Aaron's face is still intact, so that's something. You all settle near the shores of the lake to catch your breath. You dip your fingers into the water and admire the sparkling light that clings to them. It remains impressive, does it not? I hope whatever we have to do to seal the rift doesn't change this. Before he can reply, a splash comes from the river that feeds into the lake. All of you leap to your feet, hands going to the weapons. If those Drachna are looking for a rematch, they'll beat... All of you stare in surprise as a mermaid rises out of the lake, the water glistening like diamonds on her blue skin. Oh, thank the light! I found you! You were looking for us? Not for you specifically, just for anyone who might help me. When I heard voices, I swam as fast as I could. What do you need? A swamp gator has chased me out of my home. Oh no, that's terrible. Normally I would simply build another, but when I was fleeing it... Her hand comes up to her throat, where angry scratch mars her glistening skin. It caught me with its claws and ripped off the locket my mother made me. I'm not strong enough to fight it alone. But it's all I have left of her. I can't leave it behind.
It sounds like a job for Imtara.
Imtara rubs her chin as if considering. Finally, that familiar light is back in her eyes. Wrestling a gator does sound pretty fun, especially if it means helping out a beautiful mermaid. How about it, Rain? Oh, thank you so much. There's always time to help out someone in need. And I could never deprive Imtora of the chance to fight a swamp gator. Damn right. The mermaid leads the two of you through the woods along the shoreline. Fog hangs heavy over the river, and the bare trees bend overhead like grasping fingers. Have you always lived in the Deadwood? Doesn't strike me as a very hospitable place for a mermaid. Goodness, no. I used to live far upriver, near the Undermount. But over the years, other creatures have taken over my homes, and I've had to move downriver. Bunch of bullies, the lot of them. Taking people's stuff. Isn't that same as what pirates do? That's just things, Rain, not people's homes. Pirates do have standards. My mistake. Are you pirates? No, I'm not. But, Imtora here isn't just any pirate. She's next in line to being Queen of Flotilla. Ugh, don't remind me. Doesn't that mean you live on the sea? What is it like? Have you never been? No, I have family who live there, but I've never visited. I wonder. Why haven't you gone? I do consider it from time to time, but the sea is so vast, and as you can see, I'm accustomed to much smaller bodies of water. The ocean can be intimidating, but she's home. Not for everyone. This is my home. The mouth of the river and the lake are here. I've always been safe. Until now. Yeah, but you just said you got bullied out in the Undermount. How does that work? They've always been safe. Just saying. Mermaid leads you to a beautiful portion of the water, where she pauses. There it is. You look closer and see where the shoreline is marred by the outline of a large alligator half buried in the mud. He looks cute. I'm gonna make him into a pair of boots. Oh, that thing is huge. Oh, this is gonna be good. I think I'll stay back here where it's safe, but please be careful. Imtora claps her hands together. Time to strategize. That beast is built for the water. So, we fight it on the land. Exactly. Here's the plan. I'll distract it, draw its attacks while you hop on its back. I'm sorry. While I what on what? She pulls a rope from her belt and begins tying it in an intricate knot, fashioning one end to the loop. If that's too hard, you can keep your feet on the ground. The important part is that you need to cinch its mouth shut. How in the sunken hells am I supposed to do that without being eaten? Oh, you're picking up orcish swears. I'm so proud. Anyway, trust me, their jaw muscles are really weak. She is actually correct. There's no way that's true. I'm not talking about their bite strength. That's massive. So don't get bitten. Yeah, I got that part. The muscles that open their mouths, on the other hand, not so much. So if I get this rope around its jaws, I can hold them shut while you find the mermaid's necklace? Exactly. But first we've got to lure it out of the mud. I have an idea. I'll make sounds like baby gators, no prey. Grab a stick and beat at some weeds while making noises like a lapna in distress. Victoria joins in and the gator perks up lazily, lifting its massive head. As the beast lumbers onto the shore, Imtora hands you the rope, then draws her hand axes and nods firmly, an eager grin curving her lips. Let's do this. Okay, Steve Irwin, calm down. You and Imtora leap out of your hiding spot. The creature whips around to face you with a reptilian roar. Here it comes. Its claws digging in the mud as it charges for you. Imtora whistles sharply as she bounces a large rock off the creature's head. Over here, you overgrown lizard. It whips around to face her, massive tail lashing in your direction. You barely leap out of the way in time. That was close. What happened to that human dexterity perk we have? Imtora whoops as she faints and twirls, the blades of her axes glancing harmlessly off the gator's thick hide. I've got its attention. Go, Rain. She darts behind the gator, and you take advantage of the creature's confusion and throw the rope around its snout. Oh no. It rears back, trying to snake free. It takes you along with it. The rope burns your hands as you try to hold on. I'll dig my heels in, pass the rope to Imtura. I'm gonna go with Imtura. She's stronger. The pain in your hands is too great. You know you're going to drop the rope. Imtura, help! Imtura darts forward, takes the rope from you, yanking it with an angry shout and forcing the gator's jaws closed. Pin his head. On it. As you wrestle the control of the gator's head, you spot something wrapped around one sharp claw. The mermaid's locket, it's right there. Can you reach it, Imtura?
Leave it to me.
Imtura grabs the creature's foot, muscles straining as she lifts it just long enough to untangle the necklace.
Okay, let it go.
She scrambles back and you release the rope. The gator growls menacingly. I thought we were holding the rope. And you barely dodge its snapping jaws before it turns tail and retreats into the water. Seriously, we gave her the rope, and how are we holding the rope out of nowhere and she's grabbing the locket? Makes no sense. What the hell was... That was a hell of our own making.
That was a hell of a good time, is what it was.
She hands you the necklace and you look down at it. It's a delicate piece of shell from the profile of a picture carved into it. You understand why it's a family heirloom. You return to the river where you left the mermaid and wade into the shallows to pass the mended over to her. She beams, tears filling her eyes.
You did it. You really did it. How can I ever thank you?
Trust me when I say the fight was its own reward.
No, that obviously won't do. I have something better.
She holds out a bracelet woven from glowing rope and accentuated with turquoise beads. A mermaid bracelet.
This bracelet will bestow upon you the power of my river. Briefly, of course. But I trust that you will use it well.
I will. She blushes and smiles at you.
And since that's not nearly enough to thank you, I'd also like to offer you a kiss. For luck.
Sorry. Is it rude to ask if this is a cultural thing?
What do you mean?
I met a mermaid in the Cartesian Sea, and she also offered me a kiss after I saved her from a blood squid.
You're flustered, Landrat.
Oh, yes. In a way, it's cultural, I suppose. It's how we show gratitude, affection, sympathy, empathy.
These are my kind of people.
I'm glad my sister from the sea made you flustered. The depth of the kiss is a sign of importance of deed. Please allow me to show you the depths of my gratitude as well.
Why not? I'd like that. She leans in close to you. You can smell the soft green algae and the crispness of the water in her hair. She draws closer, skin shimmering in the lake light. You're unsure who's supposed to make the move first. You stand like that for what feels like an eternity as the water itself laps around you, pushing you together. Finally, she presses a gentle kiss to your lips. It feels like a cool breeze right before a rainstorm, and you smile as she leans back.
Thank you again.
My pleasure. Yeah. When in Rome. With a flip of her tail, the mermaid slips beneath the water, leaving you and Imtura to trek back through the woods. Well, did you have fun?
Are you kidding? Mal was right. That was the most fun I've had in ages.
I don't think I've ever seen you smile this much since we found you.
I suppose I didn't have much to smile about. Though that's not the case now that you're back.
She claps you on the shoulder with a grin. We always come together in the end. There's so many ways you could take that. Surely you know that by now.
That I do. That I do, truly, Rain.
She steps closer and lifts a gentle hand to your cheek, brushing away a streak of mud.
There's no one else I'd rather be with. No matter what we're doing, saving the world or just existing. And as much as I love wrestling dumb monsters, I like the existing with you even more.
There are a few things that are better than existing, though.
Oh yeah. Like what?
You smirk as you step closer to her. Well, us getting back together was a very important occasion.
I see. When in the river, do as the river mermaids do. Something like that.
Tora sighs deeply.
Oh, land rat, you know I never back down from a challenge.
In one smooth motion, she tackles you into the mud, kissing you fiercely as you push and pull at each other, half laughs, half growls. Your lips sting with pleasure and need, but you refuse to pull away, clutching her closely.
Tora.
You revel in her, and she revels in you. Lips and limbs tangled together, you finally feel like yourself again. You both get to your feet, and a quick wash in the river makes your mud fall away. You hold hands as you return to the party and prepare your belongings. I suppose there's nothing else holding us back then. It's time to start swimming.
Wait, gather around me in a circle.
Everyone obeys. Nia holds out a hand, murmuring softly as she touches each of you. Light trailing from her fingertips, you feel a tingle, and then...
There.
Was that a... in my head? An adept use of magic, Nia. You flinked us mentally.
I thought it would be best. If anything goes wrong, we can still communicate, even underwater.
Please tell me you can't read my mind.
Oh, no. You have to intentionally reach out with your thoughts.
Thank the elements.
Do I even want to know?
Oh, I can tell you what I'm thinking, Princeling. Nia might have forgiven you, but...
That's enough, Tora. We are all doing our best. That is enough.
You all step into the water, and with one last look around, dive into the lake. The water is bright, but full of gently waving underwater flora. Nia darts to and fro, eyes wide, as she takes in each new sight.
There's so much magic here. It's otherworldly.
Perhaps this is what the scholars meant when they said the world used to be overflowing with light.
It's not half bad for a pond.
You swim deeper and deeper, finally making your way to the bottom of the lake. You can sense the rift like a hum against your skin, but when you try to open a portal... Any time now, Rain.
I'm trying.
I should relax and let it come, concentrate harder. Relax and let it come. Lungs straining, you close your eyes tight and remember what the Watcher told you.
Want and need. I need to get to the Shadow Realm.
You stop fighting and concentrate on the gentle hum of the rift. It vibrates and seems to grow louder and louder until you're trembling with it. Now. Suddenly the feeling snaps into place, and a portal crackles open, far larger than the one you opened last time.
You did it!
The water around you shifts as it sucks through the portal, dragging you all along with it. On the other side, you find a sickly, mud-filled lake. It's a polar opposite of the beautiful crystal water you left behind, and you kick eagerly towards the surface. Let's get out of here. You swim upward as fast as you can, trusting your friends to follow, but something else is following too. Hey, I thought the Watcher knew everything. He said that we were not going to be underwater, and there was no way we would be able to handle it. Just saying. A mangled hand reaches out of the mud, clamping around your ankle. Looking down, you lock eyes with a nightmare. That's it for the chapter, huh? This one had no thing at the end that showed us, everything like it usually does. Interesting. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description in the video. Plenty of things to check out there, ways to support, and ways to become more with the community. That being said, again, I stand by my statement. The Watcher said that there was no way we could stay underwater and hold our breath, and that he would have to close it from one side. So that was the understanding. We would go to the Shadow Realm, we'd be safe, not choke to death on water. But lo and behold, this portal is literally in water. So, how does that work? Watcher lied to us. Perhaps. I guess we'll find out if there's a limit to what he can see or do or whatnot. Maybe it's something we'll confront him with. But besides that, thank you all for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And without further ado, catch you all later. Peace out.